Hello there. Thank you very much for contacting our company recently. We received your inquiry by email, and I hope you won't mind this sort of slightly unconventional way of communicating with you. But we find that just a bland email message or even a text doesn't really put over enough about us for you to be able to make a decision on quite which agency to choose perhaps, or what we're all about. So first of all, my name is Graham Wood. I'm one of the directors at Home Sales and Lettings. We are a very small letting agency in Colchester. We're privately owned family business. I run the business together with my daughter Emily. There is nobody else in the business. So when you deal with us, you would be speaking either to Emily or myself. We manage approximately 120 properties in and around Colchester. They vary from one-bedroom apartments up to large four-bedroom houses with gardens and garages and so on. So the rental ranges go from £750 a month up to £2,500 to £3,000 a month. So we deal with all of those ranges of properties. Why would you choose to work with a company like us? Well, first of all, I should mention that I have been a landlord myself for 20 years. So I have a lot of experience in managing rental properties, and a quality or ethos that we like to feel that we put over here at Home Lettings is that we, when we assess tenants who perhaps apply to rent a particular property, we always consider, would we have these people in one of our own properties? And by adopting that mindset, we know that we will always be acting in our clients' best interests. So if we wouldn't accept them for whatever reason, we wouldn't expect one of our clients to do so. The vast majority of our clients are with us through personal recommendations. Some of them have been with us for the entire time that we've been operating as a letting agency, which is now coming up for, I think it's 16 years. So you would always be welcome to contact any of those clients, by the way, if you wanted to get a first-hand reference from another landlord. Alternatively, we would recommend that you look at our Google reviews. You can do that by going on the internet and searching Home Sales and Lettings in Colchester, and there will be a feature there where you can click on reviews. One of the most important aspects of renting out a property, and forgive me if you're already an experienced landlord, but if you're new to this business, then it's important that you understand this point. And that is, one of our roles as a letting agent is firstly to ensure that any property that is let out as a private rented property, it must be 100% compliant. What do we mean by compliant? We mean that it's legally acceptable to rent out. It's fit for purpose. There is no risk to any of our clients being fined for not being compliant. Of course, the business of private rented properties is changing all the time, and we feel that this is one of our very, very important roles. So having said that, we offer a free compliance service. So if you would like us to look at your property and assess it for being compliant, or would like us to visit it and tell you how to make it compliant, that is a service that we offer free of charge and without obligation. The second most important role for a letting agent is to eliminate risk. We do this in two ways. Firstly, of course, when any applicant comes along and says they would like to rent a property, of course, the next thing we do is discuss their circumstances with you, the owner, and then we would put them through a very strict referencing procedure, which is carried out by a third-party specialist company. They do nothing but take up references on people, so it's very, very thorough. And thirdly, we have the opportunity to actually insure the risk of a tenant not paying their rent. Now, you might wonder how we do that. It's a specialist insurance company that we insure through. Of course, they would not insure somebody that didn't pass references. But equally, it's important to point out that people's circumstances can change. They can be off work, long-term sick, for argument's sake. But in this case, in the case of this particular insurance policy, the reason for non-payment is, when I say it's not important, it would not matter whether it's somebody unable to pay or unwilling to pay. The insurance company would pay the rent, and they would continue to do that until the problem was resolved, or in the most extreme of cases, the property was repossessed, and incidentally the legal fees would be covered for that eventuality with the same policy. In order to give you an indication of how much rent you would be able to charge for your property, it would be very helpful to have the address and the postcode, a brief description. For example, it's a 2-bedroom apartment with two bathrooms, or it's a 3-bedroom house with a drive and garden with a garage or gas central heating. All of these things affect the rental that you're able to achieve. The minimum contract period that we usually offer is 12 months. Occasionally we negotiate a 2-year contract, but vast majority of our landlords ask us to negotiate a 12-month initial term, and that subject to good behaviour and regular payments without being chased. We would then offer the tenant, or we would recommend to the landlord that the tenant be offered the opportunity to renew. So that in brief is a very brief summary of our services and what perhaps makes us a little different from other companies in Colchester. Of course, there are many agents that you could speak to, and they'll all tell you that they'll give you the very best of service. They go from very large corporate companies down to much smaller companies like ourselves. As I say, the majority of our clients come to us through personal recommendations, and that's the way we like it to be. We get to know all of our landlords and the majority of our tenants as well. So if there's something you'd like to discuss with us further, please don't hesitate to pick up the phone or drop me an email, or better still, let's meet at your property so that we can have a look at it together and give you a realistic and truthful appraisal of your property. We do that, as I mentioned before, free of charge. My number is at the bottom of this message, and I do hope that we can look forward to speaking to you and helping you on your rental property journey. Thanks for listening. Bye-bye.